Welcome back to the Shannon's Nationals round 5 action here from Queensland Raceway. It's been a long couple of days with some late racing last night, and we get into our final one here today. Of course, it is the Australian Production Car Series, race 2 of the weekend. 300 Ks yesterday, 250 Ks today. Was scheduled to start at 5 to 3. We're now running a little bit late, so I'm probably looking at around about a 20 past start, I would think. So probably around about 20-25 minutes late. Let's see if we can get it finished under light conditions.
Well, actually,
Gary,
the event could be time certain.
Yep.
And if it is, they will finish the race at 1 lap after 5:29.
Okay, cool. Which still gives me time to get in the car and get to the airport, get back home to Cole, Melbourne.
Maybe have a quick couple in the airport.
You just never know. You never know. They're getting ready. They're in pit lane, and they'll head out for their opportunity to get onto the grid, and we'll get this one underway. Production Cars race number 2, 250 Ks. Great racing last night with these cars, Gaz. I was really impressed with how that all went down.
It is. It's a great spectacle too. It's just a pity that the live stream doesn't go out on the Saturday night, but it would have been ideal. And obviously, apart from the fact that you'd have trouble identifying the cars in the dark, which is always going to be a drama. But certainly great race, won by Beric Linton and Tim Lay in the BMW 1M. And lots of leaders, lots of stories came out of last night about people that had problems. We had the George Caradimas, Jeff Russell Falcon have a disc shatter. They eventually got it back to the pits, replaced it, got the car back out into the race. The Pettis Toyota of Andrew Turpey and Grant Phillips' engine basically detonated as they crossed the line, and they just lost the lead in the class, and there's a fire there as well. They've overnight, they've built that car again, and it's back out there.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal effort.
Could do that though with the Eddie Fiore car. That's on the trailer and hasn't come out at all.
No, they've done an engine in that car, and they probably wouldn't have had a spare, so that car's just been packed up, and they're staying around to watch the race, so the car's just parked out behind us here. So we had a drama with the Bates Pearson Mitsubishi Evo in the warm-up. Turned out to be a rear seal and gearbox, so that's all sorted. They're back out there as well. It's handy when you bring a second car with you.
It is. It is very handy.
I dare say the Audi boys might pick up on that and might have to get another one just so they've got spares. They needed a windscreen last time, they couldn't get one. Yeah. So this time they needed an engine. And of course the other Audi that was in that race in Sydney had an engine and a gearbox problem. So at the moment they're still sorting through those issues with those Audis. They're new to the scene of production car racing. Yep. And I'm sure that they'll, like we did with the BMWs, we had problems with them in the start. They've now seemed to be the weapon of choice.
Now the one car I think we have to really keep an eye out on in this race is the number 62 BMW of Luke Searle and Paul Morris. Paul Morris starting the race. He didn't have the best of luck yesterday. One would think though, daylight and neutral conditions, and a man that knows his track back to front.
Yeah, he'll be on the charge for sure. And one of the issues they had last night, he wasn't aware of the cars that are around him. Some of them were just trying to unlap rather than pass him for position. And if he didn't have been further warned about that, he might have played the strategy a little bit better. And as it turned out, but that's the way it is. Mark Griffith, Daniel Gaunt finished second in the race in the Evo. Tony Alford and Aaron Seaton third in a BMW, very similar to the one that won the race, a 1M. Paul Morris and Luke Searle, as we mentioned, fourth in the M135i. Just a different body shape and slightly different brakes and stuff like that, but essentially the same engines. Then of course we've got Grant and Ian Sharon led this race in their Class B car for such a while, and then unfortunately had a rattle gun failure at the pit stop when they were changing tyres or changing wheels, and that was the end of it. From Rick Bates, Bob Pearson ended up had a few issues with some drama with an exhaust falling down. It brought some fumes in the car prior to that, and it got very fumy at one stage, particularly before Bates got into it with Bob Pearson at the wheel. Had a big moment coming out onto the straight, almost threw him across the track, but it could have been worse. So Good recovery from them. Michael Sherrin and David Ayres just finished second in Class B and were 7th overall, ahead of class rival Jerry Murphy and Steve Hodges in the Monaro. Daniel Sugden and Doug Westwood in the BMW finished in 9th. No other winners of Class C, ahead of Francois Joy and Frank Donoghue. They had some issues as well. They struck another car and broke a wheel, so they had to fix that. Next car after that was Keith Bensley and Patrick Galland in the second of the Osborne Motorsport cars, and of course that was Class C car as well. And then we had Barry Black, who's starting today, and his daughter Carly, who finished first in Class D ahead of the Turpie Phillips car, as we mentioned. And you know, that was on the second last lap that changed, so that'd be heartbreaking for one and euphoria for the other.
No doubt, green flag's out, and these guys get to roll around on their sighting lap.
And let's not forget Class C with the Naylor brothers, Mitch and Lee, who finished ahead of the father-son combination of Rob and Alan Jarvis. There's two father-son combinations here with the name Jarvis. There's Ash Jarvis and Paul Jarvis in the Falcon in the invitation class, and Rob and Alan, which we mentioned, but not related.
Not related.
And also another father and son drives with Elfie and Charlie Sinesi as well.
Yeah, and another Suzuki's. And of course we've got Michael Sherrin in one BMW and his son's in the other.
Yeah,
so,
brothers in there as well. So family affair.
Father-daughter as well. And wife, husband, but in two different cars with Carly Black and Frank Donoghue. So, you know, it's a real family affair, production car racing these days.
The only wife-husband combination where the wife actually says go faster.
And if you're looking for a family home, Open2view.com is the round sponsor for the Australian Production Car Series here this weekend. So lots of lovely synergies there, Gaz.
It is.
Cars on their warm-up lap now. I've got to ask you guys who were the ones you think are going to agree.
Well, we've already agreed.
Okay.
We think Luke's
Paul Morris.
We think they'll be
I reckon it might be
team.
an Evo of some description.
But had a drama with the Pearson Bates car with rear gearbox seal going in the warm-up.
Yep.
But
It's
they've got
fixed
that back
now,
out. It's fixed, yeah.
Could happen
All good.
again.
Could too.
Maybe not.
No, maybe not.
Well,
No, look, I just think
the 135 or the M135 of Morrison Searle had its issues last night too. It couldn't keep up with the pace out front.
Yeah, I think they were different issues though. I don't know if there was anything mechanically wrong with that car. And I think Paul jumping into that car night time, had other guys attacking him when they probably didn't need to, and all that sort of stuff. There was a lot of things at play there. I just get that feeling that Paul Morris knows every inch of this track.
I'm just going against what Gaz is going.
Yeah, that's
he
fair
would have
enough
said
too.
an Evo. I would have said a BM.
I think it's Suzuki will win it.
Yeah, I reckon Suzuki will win. Actually, no, probably Toyota will win Class
C, you reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon a Suzuki might.
There you go.
Are there any other choices?
C, Class C, probably a Renault Megane.
Class
Or
I?
could be a Falcon.
Or a BMW.
Yeah. Class I.
Falcon.
Right, let's get to the serious stuff. They're lined up on the grid. It won't
We were
be too long
serious. What are you
before we
talking
get
about?
away.
Very serious.
Very serious.
Yeah, I might just wander off for an hour or so now.
The punters are ready for the start of this one. It is 250 Ks of Queensland Raceway.
Let's hope it.
Barrick Linton sits on pole. We'll wait for the revs to rise, and we will see the Oztec Warren cable car of Mark Griffiths and Daniel Gaunt. That will pop and bang like Evos like to do. Four-wheel drive grip off the line. Watch the third row. It's Rick Bates at the wheel to start this one in the product car. He will zot up between the two BMWs between them before they even know it. And away they go. And exactly at the right time, Rick Bates carves up the two BMWs off the start line there. And it is the Oztec Warren cable car of Mark Griffith that will lead them through turn number one. So the Barrick Linton BMW looks to go up the inside, and Bates joins him. The door not slammed shut, but kindly closed behind the BMW there of Barrick Linton. He's, of course, at the wheel, and we'll hand over to Tim Lay.
These 6 cars out in front already gapping the rest of them, and it's the Sherrin car making a move, Grant Sherrin at the wheel. Most of these drivers who finished last night's race are in for the first stint today, except for Mark Griffith, it would seem, and Tony Alford, 2 drivers who elected to start, who actually started last night's race.
Yeah, so that will put Aaron Seaton into the Orford car the latter stages of this race.
And Morris just got up the inside of the Donut King car, so he moves himself up to 5th place.
Rick Bates looking to get up the inside of the similar Evo there of Mark Griffith, and he's certainly not leaving his aspirations on the table. Great drive out of turn 4, up the inside of Griffo he goes in the Oztech Warren cable car, but it is Derek Linton. He's not having to battle really with anyone at the moment. He's got the track clear in front of him. He got round the blue Evo, and Rick Bates does the same thing. Drives on by in the product car, and the number 1 Sharon Rental's car, the Class B car, logs right in behind Mark Griffith. In fact, no longer behind, alongside, and now drives through.
Yeah, interesting battle going on in Class B2 for second and third, with the Sharon BMW just ahead of the Monaro on the road, and they're showing the way, of course, to the fastest Class C car at the moment, which is looks like the Falcon with George Karadimas in the
Rick Bates for the lead, goes through at turn 3. He's got that Evo set up very nicely indeed.
A great charge.
Yep, it's a good run.
Yeah, and the Grant Sharon's having a great charge as well, up to third in a Class B car, and looking to go further ahead too. I dare say he'll try and get past Linton.
We were talking about the Audi TTRSs earlier on. It was many a year ago that Alan Heafy took the Evo 10 and developed it into an absolute weapon of choice. Alan Heafy has now anointed the Audi TTRS his next project to get to the front of car racing. So selecting an Audi TTRS, you're not on your own. There, a guy who knows how to win this style of racing has given it the nod. So we'll see it come on. It's just a matter of development and getting it to the track, and we'll see what happens there, because the Evo Mitsubishi is getting a bit long in the tooth now. We're starting to see the BMWs and Audis regularly challenging.
Holden versus Ford, well and truly added here. The Monaro and the Falcon XR6 turbo sprint, and they're dicing and ducking around there, and the Monaro gets it back.
Gee, the Monaro moving on a 3 of tyres that time. You don't want to be moving this car too much on a 3 of tyres over the 250 kilometres we've got ahead of us. That's for sure. Rick Bates now leads the way, and Derek Linton has now got an issue with car 1 trying to get through on him, and car 1 wants to go with Rick Bates at this point in time. I'd say Derek's got a lap number that he wants to be knocking off every time, and so do the Sharons, and at the moment they're at loggerheads with who's going to do it easy around the outside into Snake Gully.
Well, it's like the one in front at the moment, the number 23 car, is a performance development of the one that's behind it.
Who knew? Bigger tyres, more aero, down the inside goes Grant Sharon.
Yeah, this time.
He has got him. For how long? In 6 Sports, Sharon High BMW.
Great job, up to second position now, and we'll go out after lead. It's 2.43 seconds, almost 2.5 seconds between first and second. It'll be interesting to see whether Grant Sharon could haul that gap back, particularly as Rick Bates has done a 19.8 and no one else has broken into a 19 as yet. A 20.4 for Grant Sharon in second spot. 21.1. So I dare say you're right there, Daz, that Linton is running a number at this stage. It's going to be consistent lap times, and as of last night's race winner, that proved to be the way to go.
So Rick Bates leads from Sharon, Linton, Griffith, Morris in 5th, Alford 6th, Michael Sheridan 7th, Murphy, Karadimas, Joy Osborne, top 11, Sugden, McMahon, Bensley, Black P. Jarvis, down to 16th place.
Naylor Jarvis on screen at the moment. We just see the Squirk Audi going off. The Oztech Warren cable car number 21. Here they are again. This is Class E. So we've got the Jarvis car just taking back that position and lead in the class, but no, Naylor now. The M Naylor at the wheel at the moment. Sorry, L Naylor.
And then Liam Naylor at the wheel of that car. Jarvis leading the class. And
then it's Liam Thompson in the Echo behind.
That's the first 3 in the class. So very close at the moment. And again, they run side by side on their way to turn 4. Good battle going on there. and not much between them at the end of the race last night. Those two cars were at it all the way through the fight in the night, and they resumed their
Got a bit of contact there too.
Yeah, just a bit of a rub. And Liam Thompson just sitting in there behind them in the Lauren Gray Motorsport Echo, waiting to pounce.
Like the message on the side of that black car, please sponsor us. Details to contact them with.
Yes.
On the side of the car, pretty clear message.
Well, at least you know who to call.
Yep. Ghostbusters.
Change. Looks like that position has changed again as they run down the straight. Look at this side-by-side racing. Really had a long way to go, and yet they're into it already.
And I'll do this for lap after lap after lap. Down into turn one they go, again side by side. Liam Thompson just watching this. This will be a bit of a laugh from the echo behind these two.
Certainly putting on a great stoush there. Just seeing back how far the next car, which is a Sinisi father and son pairing, is behind them.
The Jarvis in the Swift, is that the old Ute Racing Jarvis? It is, okay. So championship winning high-tech oil Swift winning Jarvis and Ute Racer.
Yeah, Ute Racer and a mentor to Adam Brand when he was racing in the series.
Yep, good buddies.
Yeah, good buddies for a long time.
And the pilot as well.
Yeah, Alan Jarvis, who's won multiple Swift series when it was a separate series. And I'm not sure, have we got the Mirage racing today? Can't seem to see it anywhere.
No, I don't think it's taken. Done a King Mirage Cup car.
Which was running in Class I and wrestled the lead away in the latter part of the race against the other Jarvis father and son pairing in the Falcon. It looks like they're on their own in this one.
Oh, it's out on the time sheets. The 55 with Kerry McMahon.
Oh, here it is coming through. No, that's the
BMW.
It's definitely on the time sheets. Running 13th at the moment, leading Class I. Just coming through, has just done Sector 2, so he'll be coming up to
turn 3.
Turn 4 or 5, I reckon, at the moment.
there it is, coming out of turn 3.
Yep.
Yep, it is there.
Found it. Lucky it was a nighttime jet, so we would have still been struggling to find that one. Interesting nuance in the night, isn't it, Tony?
Oh, it's amazing, yeah.
Get used to who's got...
Once I took my sunglasses off, I thought I was all right. I had half a chance.
Okay, good.
Nah, it's totally different, isn't it? It must be for these guys racing as well. I mean, any other form of night racing that you do, the tracks are normally really well lit up, and it's, I mean, you look at things like Singapore Grand Prix and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's basically daylight that you're racing in. So to actually just race under your own headlight steam with the only track lights to be at the flag points on each of the turns.
24 hours of Le Mans, largely in the dark. Like they light up the flag points in various different sets of corners.
And boy, don't you rock up to those corners quick.
You do, yeah, very much. Rock up on some of the fast cars quick if you're in LMP1 outfit.
The gap between first and second, 1.8 seconds, and they've just passed those Class E cars we've seen battling. So this is the beauty of class racing. While you're racing in your class, you've got to be mindful of lapping and being lapped at the same time. So
The beauty of class racing is the punters out there always are going to see a car in front of them.
yes, exactly.
There's never basically more than 5 seconds that a car isn't in front of you on any point of the track.
And the people racing in it always have a car in front of them as well.
Yeah.
Whether one has just overtaken them
Yeah.
or one that they've got to overtake. But I think that may have distracted Rick Bates a little bit to drop that little bit of pace. He did a 20.6 on the last lap, and Sharon did a 20.4. So they're the two fast cars at the moment by around about 2 seconds, actually.
Much of a muscle, so I was at 26, 24. They're
Well,
thereabouts.
we know they've got to get through a pit stop and then get back out there, driver change and all that. So, and we could have a safety car at some stage. So. That'll all change it. So probably nothing more frustrating than getting a 10 or 15 second lead and then having a safety car appear, and that's negated immediately, and you've got to do it all again.
Yeah.
Colin Osborne car just coming past us on the straight, made its way around through turns 1 and 2. It had a little bit noisier engine or exhaust note that time through there, so let's hope there's not a hit of pop. cracked or something like that on that carcass, that is not ideal. That will render the car virtually useless.
Well, that ended up down at the kitty litter at turn 3 early in the race with a wheel under it, didn't it? So that car exited the fighting tonight very early on.
Beric Linton now driving away from Mark Griffiths in the Squirk Oztech car. And Paul Morris, he looks to be in a holding pattern there, guys. Just waiting for the nod to, yep, you can push down into the low 20s now, Paul.
Yeah, amazing strategy they pulled at Sydney Motorsport Park in that race, not changing a wheel. And most other teams were agog that he could get away with that because notoriously hard on that right front down at Sydney Motorsport Park, and yet they took the gamble, didn't change a wheel, and
they gave Paul one front tyre last night.
Yeah, just the front left, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they had a look and they said, yes, let's do it. So
they said, yep. Zippity doodah, whip one on there. I'll have one of those hand cooks like that one over there, but new.
Yeah,
but newer.
Brand newer.
Another 2 tenths taken out of the lead by Sharon, so this is starting to hot up in this battle for the lead. And they've dropped Linton off by a fair margin. And just a quick look at the classes. Class C still led by Carademus over Joy, Osborne and Sugden. Class D is led by Black over the Toyota. Class E, Jarvis over Nala. Class I is at the moment Jarvis over Alford.
There's the 62 BMW with Paul Morris in front of him. Griffith. And that's the man he's chasing down. Gets through on the Pettis Toyota.
Toyota currently 17, so they've lapped up to 17 for those two have. Further up the road, there's others that have been lapped already as well.
Yeah, Tony, you get the feeling that these guys have settled into a rhythm a lot quicker than what they did last night. They're all picked their lap time that they want to run at, and they're setting that pace and really not varying from that plan. Last night it seemed a long, long time. In fact, I don't think the race settled at all last night.
It got a bit hectic, didn't it?
It did. It got very hectic.
But that's to be expected.
I plan that this one will get hectic at some stage as well.
You would expect that that's going to get hectic though in a night race.
Like hectic Habibi.
Yeah. I will, for sure. But just for the fact that things are totally different, so you can expect the unexpected in a night race. You come up on cars a lot quicker than probably what you'd expect, and you don't see them, and all that sort of stuff.
There's a lot of difference.
Your braking points would have to be different.
There's a lot of different strategies in night racing. I find the most important one is to look past the end of your lights.
Yeah.
So you're looking into the darkness, not what's lit up in front of you, because there's no choice. You're already there. But when you're looking at it, you're on over it. You need to be looking into the darkness, particularly when the track's not lit up.
Yeah, I'd be recruiting a truck driver if I was one of these cars next year.
Yep. The problem is that they need those massive, big, high discharge lights, don't they? Burn the retina out of the car.
I've seen some of those trucks flying at 140, 150 down the Hume Highway.
Yep.
Night time.
With the speed limited sticker on the back.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Okay, the lead is under a second.
It's
0.8
tight
at the moment, so it is tightening up, and still Morris tries to get past Griffith in for position 4. So lots going on at the moment. If they finish in the order they are, Rick Bates and Bob Pearson look like they would take the round. 86 points. Beric Linton and Tim Lavey, 96 points would be first. Bates and Pearson would be second. But I dare say a lot's going to change before this race culminates.
I get the feeling that Paul Morris is locked and loaded onto the Evo in front of him. He's just doing the job that he's been asked to do, setting the times that he has to do, and just putting up the fumes that are coming at him at the moment.
How many laps to go, Daz?
69 laps to go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Daz.
It is. There you go.
46?
Yes.
Wow.
46 years young.
Geez, you've had a hard life.
It's an infamous journey, Tony. A long way of famous. Definitely infamous.
Well, done it very tough.
Hasn't worn well.
Look at every bit of it.
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it.
Not like us.
No, we've worn very
You
well.
guys are wearing it well, absolutely.
Well, for 80-year-old, we're doing looking great.
There's a reason why they don't put the headshots of the commentators in the program, isn't there?
Scare the kids.
Good head for radio.
Scare the kids. Bates from Sharon from Linton. They are our top three, 11 laps down, so not expecting any driver changes in this one until probably another 20 to 25, maybe 30 laps, I would think, minimum.
Around about lap 40.
Yeah.
And the gap is very visual as Bates comes up on lap traffic, and it's faster lap traffic he's hitting now, and there's one lapping. Well, he's been held up badly at turn 2, and not fault of his own, because the car that actually held him up, the BMW, was trying to get past the two Swifts. And yeah, look at this. It's got close all of a sudden.
Oh, it's got real close. Sharon looking up the outside. Comes double switch on the inside. That's not going to set him up too well, though, for turn 4. I think that Bates has the better run. He does. A little bit of smoke coming out of the back of the Bates car.
It's just fuel, I think.
Yeah, it was there earlier as well, around about 5 or 6 laps ago. So keep an eye on that.
You can get a rich-looking exhaust out of the product car, but I see what you mean, Tony. It unfortunately looks more blue/white,
Yeah.
but it does a grey-black.
So we'll just keep an eye on that one.
Big dive down at turn 6, and I think
That's
he's got
the way
it
to do
this
it.
time.
That is the way to do it.
Is he going to...
Hey.
They're exchanging bodywork here at the moment, and Bates wants to get it back, and we'll have a little bit of extra oomph down the straight as they run side by side. It's a bit game on this for such early times in a race.
Lap
of this,
13, or sorry, the end of lap 12. Bates, Sharon made contact. Are they going to do it again? That's that'll put you both off that one. So 1 and 33. Cheeky. This is not even the closing stages of the race.
I wonder if some people start walking down the pits looking at the other pit.
Yeah.
I wonder
what
if
are you
people
guys up to?
I wonder if people are on the radio saying, boys, lap 13.
Yeah. 67 to go,
Yeah,
boys.
67 to go. Bring it back. Behave yourselves. I don't reckon it'd be Bob Pearson. I reckon Bob Pearson would be enjoying that.
Yep. I think Sharon might not be.
No, I think Sharon's probably the one that's going, yeah, let's not be engaging in that front. Leave him go. Remember, it's a Class A car and we're a Class B car. It'd be nice to win outright, but we've got to get the points for Class B first of all.
I think they'll probably take the overall win as a priority. Pretty sure they might, but it certainly gapped them again. That gap back out to 8 tenths of a second. So he had a go. Didn't quite work. There's a bit of panel massaging there to get it done, and I dare say he'll have another crack.
Panel massaging. There we go. Yep. Panel massage.
Are they race in Thailand?
Yeah. Be a nice massage on lap 13 there. Grant, it should put you in good stead later on in the race.
Yep.
Nice and relaxed. Had your panel massaged.
And hopefully you win the end. Big happy Eddie. If you're there in front at the end of the race.
Lap 66 done. Still got, 66 laps remaining.
I've got to say, that was the
Lap
fastest
14
66
done.
I've ever seen.
There's a bit of fast forward there, wasn't it? Don't wish your life away. Kids?
A bit congested down at the corner there. We're out of turn 3.
And look at this back on screen. The Suzuki's next to each other again. As the two leading cars go through, that was the only thing that separated those Suzuki's in the last 15 laps.
It is interesting that these Suzuki's every sort of 3 laps or so have come side by side with each other. The Echo hasn't managed to, well, I suppose, capitalise on the fact that those two are battling so hard. The Echo's just always managed to be off the back.
We're watching team cars now, the 2 Donut King cars, as they go down to turn 4. And, of course, Tony Orford will be putting a lap on the other car.
Is that McMahon with the P plates?
That'd be Kyle Orford.
Okay.
Although they probably leave the plate on. I don't worry about taking it off for the driver change.
No. There's no need to. and black Donut King car.
In saying that, it
Looks
is
nice.
Kerry McMahon at the wheel.
Yeah.
So my apologies there. Look at this bit of leaning.
Outright cars coming through. There'll be blue flags displayed to these two Suzuki so that they know they're coming through, and it is their obligation to then get out of the way of the car coming through.
This is a great struggle in Class E between these three front runners, and although the front cars will probably be thinking, how many of these Suzukis are there in
What
this
about
race?
What about three wheeling through turn 3 there?
I saw that in the 10.
Yeah, and this is Liam Thompson's opportunity. He's got up at the back of them now, albeit that the Griffith Evo has arrived on the scene as well with the 86 pedal suspension Bendigo Pitman Trucks outfit.
Oh, Charlie, one of the Sinizis there has a little pirouette and then gets it going again out of turn 2. Or is that turn 6?
It wasn't part of
Turn 2.
the battling Suzuki.
It was 4th in Class C at the
Yep.
time. And remained so. And as we watch Rick Bates pass Colin Osborne, a multiple Australian production car champion, as well as class champion at the 24-hour race at Bathurst back in the early 2000s.
He was a loyal servant with the Toyota MR2s and Celica for a long, long time. Jumped over to the Mazdas and now gone with the Renaults.
Karadimas will be the last of the non-A and B class cars to be lapped, and that probably thinking not too far away, boys.
It shouldn't be, and he's still having that big dice with the Monaro. Jerry Murphy at the wheel of that one at the moment. So Jerry finished the race off last night, started today. George started yesterday, started today.
There it goes. The 34 has been lapped now.
And they're actually, the front runners are lapping those cars through turn 4 and 5. And I think that hasn't helped the Sharon's cause. I think they've dropped a bit, dropped about 4/10 of a second. Just caught out badly at that corner, but now passed. And I think it's reciprocated by Bates being held up behind the Toyota out of 6.
And
What goes around comes around.
That's the other good thing about class racing too, isn't it? The cars will get caught up at different stages, so you've got to allow for that, and good to see.
But sometimes if you like trying to get out of the way, it actually causes more problems than say holding the line and letting whoever's going past find their own way.
So it's fairly strict.
Yeah.
It's fairly strict, like internals of engines and all that are being messed with. Various control mechanisms of the car and all that are being messed with at all. So yeah, it is for all intent and purposes showroom type racing.
And while we've been talking there's been a change of lead in Class E while Michael Sherrin tries to pick his way through it, and we've got Lee Naylor in front at the moment of Rob Jarvis. Liam Thompson just in there behind him, nothing between these three.
Just wait a lap, Gaz, and it'll change again.
Yeah, exactly. And the same in Class C, it's happening all over the place at the moment.
Good hard racing. Down through the classes, including right up the front between Sherrin and Bates. That gap now out to 1.6 seconds. So Sherrin starting to get a little bit of a kick on.
And behind George Karadimas, Colin Osborne has taken second spot in Class C. And it looked like he was having to go at Karadimas down to turn 6 too. So that one's still happening. As is this one in Class E. Happening all over the place at the moment. As Class C is also having Tony Orford going past him as well.
It's Naylor, Jarvis, Jarvis, Naylor, Naylor, Jarvis, Jarvis, Naylor with a Sherrin sandwich. The field streams on through. These guys almost, they're being polite to the field coming through, but they're not giving up their own battle, are they?
No, look, the two Renaults in Class C, second and third at the moment. Colin Osborne ahead of Francois Joy. And generally through the year, the Network Clothing car, the number 88, has been a pace setter in the class for wins. But since George Karadimas' car's had its upgrade, it's sort of coming on strong now. So a lot of competition there. And again, this battle in Class C, this will go on all through the race, I think.
I think we'll keep an eye on it because it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. The two Suzuki Swifts at the front of Class E, Naylor and Jarvis. Jarvis and Naylor. Time sheet just keeps swapping them over consistently at pretty much the same spots.
And there's Thompson ranging into the back of view there and now in the number 15. So this now goes from a race in 2 to essentially a race in 3.
Deciding, well, it's better to be alongside than behind. Better to be in front if you can.
Thompson taking his chance. He might even take the lead.
And,
just
overcooking it
too late.
Absolutely overcooking it. Big ask of the Toyota Echo. Kept it on the black stuff as the BMW charges at him now. The car currently sitting in P3 on the road. Eric Linton at the wheel. Look at this again. Jarvis, Naylor, Naylor, Jarvis.
Naylor, Jarvis.
Naylor.
Jarvis.
Whoa, a little bit of touch there.
Not the first time either, these two. Just had a little bit of coming together. The cars are going to start to move around on the track a little bit. We got a bit of bump drafting lining up here, gents, or are we not doing that anymore? This car stopped below us. There's a couple of cars heading to the trailer.
So the two Suzukis.
Naylor, Jarvis,
Yeah.
Jarvis, Naylor again.
And the Toyota, it is the
Echo.
Toyota Echo at the back.
Lauren Gray Motorsport, Toyota Echo. Madison and Lauren and Michael up here this weekend running that car.
Here's our Class C battle for the lead. Karadimas, Osborne and Joy.
We didn't get this last night, did we, gents? Where there's clear and distinct battles
No.
for the lead in the.
I think we did in E class with the Suzuki's.
Yep.
And the Toyota.
Not quite as intense as what
No,
we're seeing
for sure
so
not.
far.
I think it's going to be great when the Class C battle goes to lap the Class E battle. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
What happens then? We'll find out.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be fun. For everyone. Us, them,
More
fans.
for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon the drivers like nothing better than close quarters racing. Particularly in a 300k race, because sometimes you can sit out there for 298k's and not a lot happens.
Well, actually, Class C now is at turn 3 and Class E is at turn 4. So it's not going to be too long before they're right on them.
No. Through 5 now, those Suzuki's and the Toyota.
Class D still being led by
And
Barry
actually,
Black.
having said that, Thompson has now got himself into second place in that battle.
And trying to take the lead down at turn 6. right in the back of the Naylor car.
There's that Class C battle right there. The Falcon in front of Caradimus.
And look, Osborne Osborne goes for the dive down at turn 6. Can he get it done? Looks like he can.
The Renault steps up.
Renault leads the Falcon, a Renault in third, not much between them.
265 Renault Megane is what these are called, trophy car. And the Falcon storms on by as it winds up and heads down into turn 1. Colin Osborne tries to go to the inside, doesn't pull it off, but we'll start to work the twistier part of the lap as Francois Joy moves up now, of course, turning out with Frank Donahue in the Network Clothing Renault Megane.
Saw the Renault Sport Boys last night at the bar at the hotel, just having a well-earned beer after what had been a tough race.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a broken wheel in that car last night, hit one of their rivals.
One of the toughest things, even tougher today after a long race like this, is getting in the tow vehicle with the trailer on the back and driving into the sun all the way home.
Yeah.
You're already worn out, and if you've got to go across a couple of borders, you get a couple of hundred k's under your belt and pull up for the night.
Wise move.
That gap between Class C and Class D coming down continually. We see that won't be long before that they're on the back of them. Barry Clinton in the car that won last night. Look, this battle continues. The order's changed a little bit, but I dare say that's going to happen again before this race is over. When these faster cars come through from Class C.
The order's changed, but the intensity hasn't.
No.
Oh, Thompson goes 4 wheels to the dirt. Don't want to lose speed that way, Liam. You want to keep it on the black stuff, because Jarvis and Jarvis are going to range up big in your mirrors very quickly when you do that. Slows the car down hellishly. What's a 1.3 litre the Echo?
Yeah, I
think it is
thought so, yeah.
1.3 litre. So
Change of lead.
it's all about pedal to the metal, and then 300 k's later relinquish
I
that.
think he's got the Class E lead into turn 3 and out of it now. Yes, it's the Echo in front, but I can't tell which Suzuki's in front at the moment because they're side by side.
I can tell you the Ford of Caradimus, the Falcon, has just gone back in the front of that group as well, ahead of Osborne.
You can see from that great rear shot coming out of turn 3 that the 3 Class C cars, and right in the hazy distance you can see the Class E cars negotiating turn 4.
Yeah,
Great
so they're
shot.
coming up to turn 6 now, and those Class C cars are coming through turn 5. So only the matter of, 200 metres separating these 6 cars. They'll all be mixed up together shortly.
So these 3 Class C cars just move over to one side and let them stream on through, and like the game, they're said to be shown blue flags.
Well, how are they going to do that when there's 2 of them side by side?
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, got to get through on us here.
Mirage in the pits, first pit stopper.
And wandering away, and the next driver going in, so it'll be Orford out.
That will be their one and only stop. So with 53 laps to go, Kerry McMahon's going to get a fair bit of work ahead of him. I don't know if they would have scheduled it for that early.
Francois Joy's just taken Osborne as well, so Osborne's gone from leading that class to 3rd in the space of just on a lap.
And because they've been squabbling for second, Caradimus has actually jumped away from them a little bit. So that might ease the pain of having to get past those Class C cars. And
Whoa, someone's off.
Francois Joy
Francois,
goes a bit wide at turn 3.
And stays wide.
Kicks up some dust there and loses that spot. So that battle's resolved itself very quickly.
Yeah, Caradimus is going to arrive in the Class C car as well, and truly
Without any pressure on him.
Yep. You should be able to negotiate that traffic pretty easily. Probably next lap around, we'll see them going through, if not around the back straight next time through.
It's not so joy for Francois through turn 3. Nice time around.
Hit the nail on the head there, Becky for Ricky.
So you can see the Falcon ranging up behind these 2 Suzuki Swifts and the Toyota.
Through on it.
Grab 2 of them in a Swift.
Swift moved that loss.
They're not going to let him get away from it, though, are they? They want to go on with it. He goes out after the Echo now. It's actually fallen into the hands of the Echo because they crowded each other into turn one. They would have lost half a second in that little manoeuvre.
Well, this will be a repeat pass in the Echo.
Echo.
I got it. The Renault now takes the two Swifts. Will he get to the Toyota before
And the Swifts
turn three?
The Swifts are now side by
Again?
side at turn three.
Freewheeling it. Turn
Oh!
There's a bit of biff. 72 ran out of grip and into the side of the 10.
Well, if you've got something there to stop you running off the track, use it.
Yeah. Lean up against it.
Here comes the other Renault of Francois Joy. Oh, couldn't get the two, just got the one.
That'll cost him time through the corner because they'll be on the ideal racing line, and I would expect that the Renault would be quicker for the corner than the Suzuki.
Suzuki moving over there. Francois Joy just going straight up through the 88. So the Class C cars remain intact. Class C cars remain intact. Let's have a look at the leaderboard, guys. It's a Class B car leading the way, and we have to look all the way back down to position 7 for Michael Sharon in the next Class B car. Then it's the 16 of Murphy, which is the big Monaro out there, and that's the Class D car. Second place is Rick Bates, 5.55 seconds arrears of Grant Sharon leading the Class E race. It's Eric Linton, who's 11 seconds back. And it's Mark Griffith, he's about the same back there that it is Paul Morris, and he is 38 seconds off the race leader. In fact, he is 32 seconds off the first car in Class A. So Paul Morris in 5th place now. That's Michael Sharon, Tony Orford, the Class A Donut King BMW. It looks like we've got the Peter suspension crew ready for a pit stop in pit lane in the for the Toyota 86, and indeed it's in the lane.
There's Turpy bringing it in.
And the first of our compulsory pit stops, except for the Mirage for the Donut King team.
So you can see the driver change here. As we said, Andrew Turpy stepping out. Grant Phillips will jump in to the Petters Toyota 86.
Falcon looks to go through again on the Osborne car and does so in a straight line. That Falcon sprint lives up to its name, doesn't it? Rips it up.
Good straight line power, no doubt. It's just good racing all round. I mean, the different classes and even the cars in the classes all have different characteristics. Some have power, some have better braking, all that sort of stuff. Just makes for really good racing.
Good mix of classes, great class racing, and as we've seen, and it probably negates what's happening up the front of the field because...
What is happening up the front?
Well, Grant Sharon's leading by 5.5 seconds.
For the first 40 years of the greatest race in Australia, the Bathurst 1000.
Yes,
This is
that's
what
right,
racing
exactly.
is all about. It built its reputation on this style of racing. Danny Sugden in 12th place there. The BMW he shares with Doug Westaway. And they got Francois Joy up the road and Colin Osborne and George Karadimas as well. So we've got some work cut out there. There are fairway arrears.
Yeah, we've got our race leader coming up to lap the Class C cars. It's in underneath Joy at turn 6 and turns it in, and you'll have these two to negotiate very shortly. You should see him in the background of this shot as they disappear down the straight, and again they're passing cars as well. So we've got this situation where multiple class cars are actually being passed by other cars.
Tony, just noticing you've gone for the calculator there to give us a rundown on your estimation on what time this race will end like we did last night. Have you got those
Got within
calculations?
3 minutes of that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. What are your calculations saying today?
Give me 2 seconds, we'll work it out.
All right.
Depends how thirsty he gets.
Yep, that too. So Class C still on screen. Getting a good look at the Class C cars as our race leader is getting through them at the moment.
19 past 5.
Yep, I was thinking about 20 past 5 myself there. So let's hope we don't get safety cars between now and then. And
Exactly.
Next 48 laps remaining, we get home safely.
If there's a safety car, it'll be 5:31.
5:31, exactly.
Basically, the time the race started yesterday.
All right, let's head down to Rawlsey. He's got the Pettis crew down there after their pit stop. Rawlsey.
No, the Pettis Toyota, not at the front of the pack, but it's a close miracle you're even racing here today. Tell me about it.
It is. We had a fabulous qualifying. We smashed the competition. We did really well in the race, and literally with 3 corners to go, we hemorrhaged an engine. So Grant managed to literally drift the thing straight across the line and pull over to the left, and the Fireys helped us out. So it wasn't the best finish we were planning on, but anyhow.
And where did this new engine come from?
There's a contact that Grant has here in Brisbane, and he builds 86s, and he happens to have a wreck available. So we drove out, got the engine, and started putting it in at about 1 a.m. and started up at 9:30 this morning.
So you boys had a long night.
Yeah, we did. We paid for a fabulous motel, and we slept in the truck. So it was a long night, I must say. And the boys from MTA and the whole crew did a fabulous job.
If there's any consolation, you're second in Class D at the moment, so good luck with the rest of the race.
Thanks very much. It's definitely a tough day at the office today, but anyhow, thanks.
Great work, Rawlsey. Great story there, Jazz.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those guys don't think it's a great story. It's one they prefer to go in their nice hotel room.
I wonder if they get to use the hotel room tonight.
Tonight,
They've
yeah,
got to
get a credit.
or head back to Bendigo.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a long drive too, isn't it?
Still, this battle for Class C continues as Colin Osborne slips down the inside of George Karadimas, and predictably the Falcon will zoom past down the straight.
That Toyota 86 doesn't race in the Toyota 86 series, no.
Car's eligible to run, the 86 is eligible to run in this, and I believe there's a few lined up to run at the next round.
A couple of them ran at the state series at Sandown last weekend.
Yeah, it's a couple
Getting kicking licences off and things like that.
Yeah.
A couple of them got in trouble too. Had Benny Grice visit us at Sandown last weekend in the commentary booth. The guy, I reckon we miss him here at the Shaddons Nationals. He had time in the Swift series and then some time in the saloon cars. Very, very entertaining race, just like his dad was. And looking forward to seeing how he goes in the rest of the Toyota 86 series for this year. He's already planning something different for 2017.
Well, the next round of Toyota 86, of course, is at Sydney Motorsport Park in August. The supercars racing there, so looking forward to that. But Mick Furters
Yes.
going on what we've seen at Quid when they raced, and of course those cars are eligible, and I guess there'll be quite a few of them lining up for the final round of this series in November. 4-hour race at Sydney Motorsport Park, and obviously gearing up for the 6-hour events at Bathurst next year.
Excellent stuff.
Now, Osborne's got a bit of a gap. Well, he had a bit of a gap, didn't do too well out of it. But look, this battle's still raging.
Francois Joy's actually caught right up on the back of this.
He has.
He obviously dropped off when he went off, but he's caught right up again.
And it goes back to Karadimas, so it's been entertaining. The Falcon in of Jarvis in the invitation. That means both the invitation cars have been into the pits for their stops. And it should be, and for most of the last night's race, this was the leading car, Paul Jarvis and Ash Jarvis. But right towards the end of the race, the Mitsubishi Mirage of Kyle Orford and Kerry McMahon got the upper hand, and they had been leading them in the race so far today. So watch that one with interest to see how it pans out towards the end.
Colin Osborne's done a lot of production car racing, Gaz, hasn't he? He's been around for such a long time.
He's also done some overseas production car racing, things like the Nürburgring 24-hour production car race, which they have there in, I think it's in July, but all sorts of weather conditions they've got to face. It's not like summer here, where they can also have sleet, snow, hail, everything.
But I'm just trying to think, when it was definitely back in the MR2 era, wasn't it, that he started to make a big name for himself in production car racing.
If I remember correctly, won
So would it be back in the original 12 hour Bathurst 12 hours with the RX-7s and the 968 Porsches and
Yeah,
stuff?
I'm pretty sure it was. I had all the details, and I just didn't bring them with me. But one Fangio the second.
Yes, with the Toyota.
He came out one year
With
racing
Toyota.
Collins' team.
Yep.
They had a two-car team. A guy by the name of Ron Gillard who went on and did some good stuff with Lansvale as a privateer in supercars.
The first one to blink in the E-Class battle comes to the pits. In fact, they both blink and come in. So, no, sorry, it was the only one. It was the Jarvis car that came in. So the Echo and the Naylor car continue. And we've also got the 1M of Tony Alford in, and they're getting themselves set for, and we've got Beric Linton, hang on, no, they're waving the sign for Linton, but it's not Linton they're waiting for, sharing the same pit. Carly and Barry Black now into the number 97, and they are refuelling, as is the Donut King BMW. Tony Alford walks away, and fuel going in. Carly getting into the number 97, and the number 72 Jarvis car getting service there as well, driver change.
It's interesting that car's not showing up on our time sheets as being in the pits.
Yeah, there's a couple there that aren't.
Car 54 is in the pits.
Francois George is going to the dirt there to try and get around Colin Osborne as they came on the front straight, so dust fills the pit lane at the moment at the top end, and there goes the Donut King number 54 BMW.
That was a quick stop for the Donut King BMW, in and out.
Yeah, they did fuel and drive change.
No tyres, obviously.
No, took on a load of fuel.
So we're into lap 37, 43 to go for this 80-lap race, and it is still Grant Sherrin out in front. 10 seconds now, the lead to Rick Bates. Linton in third, Griffith fourth, Morris fifth, Michael Sherrin in sixth, Murphy seventh, Aaron Seaton into the car now in the 54. They're in eighth. Caradimus, the C-Class cars in 9th, 10th and 11th. Caradimus, Osborne and Joy, and continue to work our way down the list.
It's a pretty handy lead, isn't it, that Grant Sherrin's got over Rick Bates at the moment?
10 seconds is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very handy, in fact.
We were in this position yesterday at one point too, but unfortunately had a drama with
in the pits.
rattle gun.
Yeah. The air gun giving up the ghost on them. The handy yet laborious speed brace, but breaker bar comes out. That makes it hard and slow.
Yes, it did.
No fun in that. Oh, we've got the product car of Bates off at turn 3. A very, very rare mistake by Rick Bates. The car looks to be in good condition still because he's accelerated out of it. In fact, I don't think he got out of the accelerator. He used the four-wheel drive of the mechanical package under him and just went on with it. But I can't remember the last time I saw Rick Bates make a mistake like that. He might have made a mistake on track, but heading to the dirt like that is not ideal with a really hot set of handcooks underneath you.
We called it last night on his pass on Paul Morris was a Morris move on Paul Morris.
Yes.
That was the time. We went and apologised. Morris was quite cool about it, no problem there. And yeah, I'm sorry boys, as he comes past, if you do a quick look over to the pits. That holds on.
As you said, a Morris move on Morris. Paul would take that like a gentleman. Thank you very much. Catch you next time would be the thought in the back of his head.
Yeah, that'll yeah.
Car's just been to the pits. Now Rob Jarvis at the wheel.
Alan
Jarvis now. Sorry, Rob Jarvis has been at the wheel during the earlier part of the race. The ex-Ute racer. This is the ex-champion. 2 times champion of the Swift Series. He's gone off. It's a game changer right there. The other Class E car hasn't been to the pits yet. The other Class E cars, and that is the Toyota Echo and the Naylor Swift. In fact, the Echo is going down the straight between 3 and 4, and then the first of the Swifts, and then the third of the Swifts is also, second of the Swifts is going down there as well. Murphy and Hodges in the Monaro.
I don't think they were ready for that.
No, I don't think they were either.
Right on halfway through the race, they've made their stop, so it's probably a wise call.
Yep. Noosa Beach Classic Car Club. G'day to all the people up there at the Noosa Beach Classic Car Club. High-Tech Oils Monaro. Of course, the Swift Series was the High-Tech Oils Swift Series all a few seasons ago. He's number 21, currently fourth on the road. Is Mark Griffith trying to get through some of the back markers and goes to the pit lane out of position 4. Follows in the Class C car of George Karadimas into the Queensland Raceway pit lane here for round 5 of the Shannon's Australian Motor Racing Nationals. Can't wait to get to Phillip Island for the next round. We've got quite the wait, haven't we, gents?
Yeah,
First weekend, it's the
9th
second weekend of September.
9th to the 11th of September. There's the Falcon stopping.
6-hour relay race being run at Phillip Island this weekend. Regularity race, so not for sheep stations, but a very, very popular event. Some 56 teams entered. That's not 56 cars, that's 56 times 4 cars. Big weekend at Phillip Island.
Do they have to pass a baton on to each other?
Literally do.
Usually a piece of Velcro.
Yeah, literally do.
Velcro stuck to the bonnet of the car. If the car dies out on the track, they generally take it to nearest flag point, and then they put another piece of Velcro on the car.
They give it a minute penalty and issue another with another piece of
Now,
Velcro.
while we were talking, the Bates Pearson car has come into the pits to take its stop. Bit of something hanging off the back of the
It's
Falcon.
the rear
there.
bumper by the looks of the thing.
That won't affect it too much.
You probably want to take it off because the officials won't like that flapping around.
This is the car that won Class C last night, the Westwood Sugden car, as the Pearson car pulls in front of it. So they're all going for a half and half race, it would seem, as we see Daniel Gaunt join the field in the number 21 Evo. And yeah, they're looking, they'll have to do something maybe with that. They're leaving it, sending it back out. As one of the Osborne Motorsport cars comes in, and that is the one they've been dicing with. So they've left their stop to a lap later.
Full green flag pit stop so far.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see where Osborne comes out in comparison to this car when they do, whether they'll be still together or not.
Well, they probably spent a bit of extra time in there, didn't it? Like Karadimas, checking the back. So.
Oh no, the bonnet's going up on the product car. This is not what we want to see.
There must be another
Not
issue.
at all, and they're pulling on lock on the car too, so they're looking down at a gearbox, I would suggest, or a CV or a drive shaft of some description.
They had a vibration in it yesterday, and they've got a spare car here, so they took the left front hub assembly out of that and put in it. And
Got the race tape out. That will be for the sun that's starting to set around the track, and will be more for driver comfort than anything.
And as Bates reported, that vibration didn't go away yesterday, so it was still there. It wasn't bad, but it was there.
Yeah, they're in exactly that part of the car. It's the right-hand front, actually, and left-hand front now too.
It was the left-hand front that was giving them the problem yesterday.
That's the loaded one here at Queensland Raceway. There's a big fire suit there, attending to issues for the driver.
All right, let's head down to pit lane. Rawlsey has George Karadimas with him after stepping out of the 34 car. Rawlsey.
George, frantic first hour. You just pulled in for your pit stop, and there was a little bit of damage in the back of the car there. What happened?
I got hit by one of the Renaults from the rear. I got hit by the other Renault in the right-hand side. I got hit on the left-hand side. So a bit of carnage out there. But tell you what, that's hard work. To keep that Falcon, to pull it up. We had a brake rotor shatter last night, and we were leading by about 40 seconds in front of everybody. And then it shattered a disc rotor. Lucky it didn't hurt anybody. We didn't kill the car or destroy the car. So we fixed it overnight, and it's not the best, but we got it running, and yeah, that was hard work. A couple of hundreds of each other, 2 Renaults, a Falcon. It was just, that was crazy. But I got hit from behind. I think that's a bit of I don't know. It's on, game on. Gloves off now, so I'm not fussed.
Sounds like the French are ganging up on you.
Oh, well, mate, bring it on. It's right. Oh, Australia versus French. Australia 1, French 0 so far, so they haven't won a battle yet, pushing us off the track, but we'll get there. It was a nice whack on coming in the front straight, so yeah, he'll be right.
Hour to go. What did you tell your co-driver?
Look after the brakes and just drive it.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Good stuff down there, George Karadavis, putting out definitely not putting out the white flag. It is
That game on with all that. Yeah,
and you saw the Renault driving out with the race tape and the duct tape around the front right headlight, so definitely some damage there as well.
It's an easy car in the pits as the product Evo leaves the pits, so they're back in the race. With Bob Pearson at the wheel of the Evo. Change of driver here, Charlie Sinisi, the father, out, and Alf Sinisi getting in. Charlie's been out of a cockpit of a car for 2.5 years, and the last thing he drove was a Sportsman Chef Corvette, so it's a bit different from running one of those.
He got a short back and sides at Winton too at the time. I think he wasn't impressed with it either.
No, that's why I think he hasn't raced with it.
He's taken some time off, got the passion back, and doing it. The Open2view production car race here this weekend. Open2view.com brought themselves a crowd here as well. Great to see them up there on the hill. Hope they're enjoying the Australian production car series racing. 300 k's in the dark last night, 250 here in the setting sun this afternoon. We've just seen the Bob Pearson, Rick Bates car being fitted with a bit of extra tape to shield that sun out of the eyes of the driver. It can be horrible at this time of day when you've got dust sitting on the screen, you've got a sandblasted screen from races gone by, and you turn around through turn 1 and head towards 2, and it looks like you've got a snowstorm that's just hit your windscreen.
Yeah, incidentally, just so you know where we're at, Grant, Sharon's still in the lead car, 23 seconds in front of Berwick Linton in second spot, Paul Morris third, and Michael Sharon fourth, Aaron Seaton in fifth. So we've got BMWs running 1 to 5 at the moment. Francois Joy is actually sixth at the moment.
But hasn't done their pit stop.
No, none of those have done their
pit stop. The Karadimas car, the Falcons come in and out.
Well, we've got an issue with the number 21 Evo. It's gone in for a second stop. So Daniel Gaunt only just went out in that car and he's back again. So there's a drama there with that car. And it'll drop them down the pecking order fairly quickly, I'd imagine. Second last night, a fighting second, ahead of Paul Morris and Will Solomon. Obviously got an issue at the moment.
So we wait and see when our leaders will make their way in. 45 down, 35 to go. We know out of the majority of those leading drivers at the moment, Paul Morris, Gary, was the one who really had a short stint yesterday. I think he only had about 28 laps.
Race leader in. Now this will be interesting. Let's hope it all goes to plan this time. 45 laps completed. And Grant Sharon brings a race leading Sharon Reynolds BMW 135i into pit lane. We'll keep an eye on that one. It's right down the very end, so actually don't have to worry about coming out of the pits, just getting in. Will be a slow trek all the way down the pits, and then they can just charge back out. So one would expect to be at least a tyre done on that car.
A camera's on it. Let's have a look at what happens here. The 1B, 1 standing for Champion Cup, B standing for its class. Doing a great job. The Shermans will change. Everything looking okay at the moment. Fuel going in.
They're not panicking, just do it quickly, but...
front left tyre, I reckon, being changed.
Can't do the tyre change until the fuel's done. Fuel's has been done.
So the tyre's getting changed right now. You can see the head.
They're doing both left-hand tyres.
Okay.
That's the working side of the car.
Here the gun's working.
Yeah, they're working well today, aren't they?
Yes.
They're being pulled apart overnight. New seals, a bit of lubricant.
None of these fancy air jack cars here.
No, just looking at the rattle guns. They work hard all week long in the workshop, and then they're expected to go racing on the weekend.
Car 88's been in the pits. He was one of the leading protagonists in Class C. Number 10 car's still there too. The That's the brothers Nailers. That's in the pit. So.
Oh, look at this. The gun's failing again. Mechanic looking at it, giving it a rattle.
It's fine. They're off.
I agree with you. It wasn't fine there for a
No,
sec.
it wasn't fine. Bit frustration there, and well, driver at the wheel a little bit frustrated. That'll be Ian Sharon now, and
Didn't cost them anywhere near the time it cost.
no, not last
No,
night. There
God,
was certainly a second or two there that was the mechanic was getting frustrated with that gun.
Mitch Naylor now taking over from Lee Naylor in the Swift.
No doubt about their intention, though, is there? High beam ablaze on the Sharon Renton's car. Sun's a long, long way off setting, and they're just letting everyone know.
And they're coming through.
Race leader has pit stopped.
All right, let's head down to Rawlsey, who was down at that Sharon pit stop. Rawlsey.
1 hour into the race, a solid drive out there and a good lead.
Yeah, we had a handy lead, but why do you always come and talk to me now? Huh? Come on, can't you wait till the end of the race? No, everything's going well out there, the car's going well, so let's see what happens, eh?
Don't want to put the commentator's curse on you. You had some words to your co-driver there. What were you telling him about how the car was performing?
Performing great, just keep it straight and let's go.
You're sounding confident with an hour left.
No, I'm not confident at all, so just let's see what happens. Like I said, you should come and talk to me after the race, not now.
Well, hopefully on the podium. Good luck.
Thank you.
While we've been speaking, Barry Clinton has brought the race winner from last night into the pits. So they're just behind the Sharons in the pit lane.
And that means Paul Morris has gone to the lead, so let's call the race. We'll be right, Kaz.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on this stop. This is important. Paul Morris leads. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with their pit stop as far as the tyre go. Will they do the strategy they did in Sydney and try and get through without changing that wheel? If they do, that puts them back up in the contest.
So Tim Lowe at the wheel now here, an absolute handyman to have on your team and get running there. Amanda Jackson, who does media for these teams there, just wandering in front of the camera. G'day, Amanda. Working very hard these long distance races, keep the publicists running very hard.
I actually have a theory here. I think Morris has run conservative so they don't have to change that wheel.
I reckon you might be right. I reckon you might be right. Because when you look at it, he's a minute 14 ahead of the Sharon. So he's going to have to come in and do a pit stop. This pit stop here on the 23 car has taken around about a minute 30, and they've had to change tyres. Without the tyre change, they can probably get in and out within a minute.
Yep.
That's what they did in Sydney. And without that tyre, they only put one on the front last night. They would have examined that tyre intensely to see what more life they could have got out of it. And, well, it's a wily old motorsport mind like Gary O'Brien that would spot that strategy.
Part of a cunning plan.
Let's Baldrick. They have a cunning plan.
Yeah, we just had a wide shot of the number 21 car. As we reported, 2 stops and they're way back down.
Let's just have a look at the lap times that Paul Morris is doing now that he's been given he's got the race lead. I reckon he's going to start chopping out some faster laps now so that he can consolidate that lead. Yeah.
As we watch the cars go around, and Rawlsey's back down in pit lane. That 23 car's been handed over to Tim Lay. Rawlsey.
A solid first hour there. Second place. All the BMWs seem to be performing well today.
Yeah, look, I mean, the track suits all the cars. A couple of corners suit the Evos better, and the BMWs get the faster corners. So it's always going to be a close race, and there's a lot of good cars out there.
And how would you assess your stint?
Oh, look, I was happy with my stint. I was just frustrated with the 2 cars that were pulling away from me. They both passed me in a straight line down the back straight, and they shouldn't be able to.
Both cars similarly spec'd. What's making the difference with the Sharon car, do you think?
It's got straight line speed that we don't have. It's got better brakes. It's got 6-spot calipers. We got 4. The boys are driving it well, but at Eastern Creek, an Evo can't pass me down the main straight out of a slow corner, and here it can pass me down the back straight out of a fast corner. It doesn't make sense.
A gremlin in your car, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe a gremlin in the car, or maybe there's a couple of nice smelling cars out there.
Can you catch the Sharon car, or do they need to fall over?
Oh, mate, as I said, they're both driving very well. The car's quick, yesterday they fell over in their pit stop, which was, unfortunate for them, but good for us. They didn't do that today. So, Tim's got 2 left tyres, so it's up to Tim now. I can sit back and relax and see what he does.
Well, plenty of racing left to go, and you're definitely at the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, look, we're in there for a shot, and that's all you can ask. The boys did a great pit stop again. Prepared the car well. I can't thank them anymore. And, it's up to Tim, and if there's a safety car, it's on between probably 4 or 5 cars.
Well, good luck, and back to you, boys.
Thank you very much, Rawlsy. Whoa.
Oh, okay, we've had some...
Didn't leave much out of that, did he?
I think you put it pretty well online. Now, while we've been talking, Michael Sherrin has come into the pits and Jeff Russell is back in the Falcon, so there must be an issue with what was class-leading the car lane Class A Paul Morris in the lane. This will be the stop that we'll watch with interest.
Yeah, definitely. That gap came down from 115 to 110 to Ian Sherrin, so definitely they were starting to cut into the Morris time. So let's see what they do here. We're on a different car though. So the Morris car.
Morris car's in, fuel going in definitely, and Paul Morris out.
They don't look like they're trying to do anything with tyres, so...
And we've got the long shot there. It doesn't even look like there's a tyre or anyone with a rattle gun ready to go.
So it's just going to be fuel only, driver change, fuel out, driver change being
There's no tyre being done.
40 seconds in stop mode before this car door closes. They'll be out, and this is going to be a tight run. Morris starting to leave pit lane. Where's the Sherrin car? That should be just starting to come around turn 6 now.
Gee, I'll tell you what, Gaz, as a couple of commentators will team up well. I'll drive, you can call the shots from the pits, and we'll go production car racing. I just got to look after the left front tyre like Morris did, don't I? That's my job.
No, that'll be Paul's call. He would have been running conservative to make sure that tyre hung in and give Luke Searle the best possible chance to win this race. So we have to wait just for this lap to unfold to see where they fall as far as...
It's about a 9-second gap between first and second.
Here's the problem though, Tim Lay's going to need the car to be awesome under him to hold off the Ian Sherrin's charge, because he got a tyre. And
he got 2 tyres.
He got he got working side tyres, and that car's rapid.
And don't forget Tim Lay got 2 tyres as well. So.
And he's got 6-spot brakes.
Yeah, of course. The other one's only got 4.
4, yeah, that's it. On the back.
And he's got 2 left tyres.
Yes.
Well, you need left.
And he's got 2 right ones as well.
Yes. Well, the left one's a new one, so that's what counts. But this is a call with car 62 electing not to do a wheel change, and we'll go through the race on this rubber. And going on what they did at Sydney Motorsport Park, it was a strategy call, and it worked. Will it work here? Well, we'll find out in about 29 laps time.
All right.
It's about now that the number one's bottled up behind a couple of slower cars. That what Luke Searle wants to happen for a couple of laps, just so that he can work his way into the car and feel what he's going under. And there he is across the line now. Yep. And here comes the Sherrin car.
Certainly does.
Lights ablaze.
So in the pits, all lights effectively passed for the lead with Tim Lay. And there it is, 7.8 seconds, 28 laps to go. It's going to be, what did you say? Something about on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it is on like Donkey Kong.
It is again now. This is about the same time last night that this race lit up. Unfortunately, it took a safety car to do it. No need for this. No need for a safety car here this afternoon.
The thing that will spoil it for...
All right, as we head back down to Rawlsy in pit lane. You there, Rawlsy?
Michael, both Sherrin cars doing extremely well. A great drive from you for the first hour and 10 minutes. How was it for you?
Oh, it was good. The car was fantastic. We made a couple of tweaks from last night and just sat it down, and it was beautiful. I think it's probably the best I've drove, and fastest times. We were down a couple of seconds a lap on what we used to do around here, so yeah, quite happy with that.
It seems the Queensland Raceway circuit is really suited to these BMWs.
Yeah, it seems to be, though. You know, the other tracks have been kind to us. A couple of mishaps, Phillip Island in the wet, but the cars are great. Yeah.
Well, about 40 minutes left of the race to go. Good luck.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
That's high praise for the team down there at Sherrin Racing, isn't it? The car is magnificent. They're faster than ever been. He's driving better than he ever has.
The best car he's ever driven.
Yep.
And
high praise.
I'm sure he's driven a few cars.
Check your pay packets this week, boys. It could be another Hyundai in there for you.
Yeah, now we've had our first fast laps from our pit, the ones that have been in the pits, and I can tell you that the gap is 6.67 seconds.
So it's dropped a second in that.
With Morris and Sharon.
The other interesting thing in Class E, it's now Liam Thompson in the Echo that's got a handy lead out over Naylor and Jarvis. In fact, it's a ripping lead now.
Yeah, because they haven't
And
stopped
been to
yet.
pits. Yeah. Alexandra Best to well, she's only got at the moment 27 laps remaining in this race.
The other thing too is Luke Searle's going to get himself into a little bit of a rhythm, so that'll take a couple of laps for that to happen.
They've just garaged the number 21 Evo, so I would say effectively it is out of the race.
Time sheet saying Paul Morris, and our screen does as well as the driver of this car. We can't confirm though it is Luke Searle. There was definitely a driver change done when this car came into the pit, so hopefully the timing monitor will reflect that shortly. Luke Searle definitely in the 62 BMW. Ian Sherrin definitely in his B-class car in second place at the moment, 6.5 seconds adrift. Tim Lay there as well. Seaton, Bates, that's our top 5.
So is Bates going to go the whole distance, Gaz? Was there any inference that Bob wasn't going to get on board?
No, I'd say that hasn't changed. I'd say they have to have a change, driver change, so unless they're going to do another stop.
Now the timing screen has gone totally crazy because it's got Paul Morris sitting down in third spot.
Yeah.
So we've got the wrong driver and we've got the wrong position.
And
for
they've
that
got Aaron Seaton as not having had a stop since he didn't start the car. I don't know how he got it. He must have just ran out and jumped into the going past.
Yeah, so that'll all fix itself up, we hope, very,
They'll be
very
doing
shortly.
screen updates as we speak.
Yeah, but we can tell you that if you're watching this on the live stream, Ian Sherrin is not the leader of this race. It is definitely the number 62 car of Luke Searle and Paul Morris. Luke Searle driving now after Paul Morris did a good 52 lap stint.
A conservative one from the dude, and obviously the strategy was to get through on one set of tyres. As Luke Searle brings around, just passes the Jarvis Swift. Now we've seen the Jarvis car off the road at one point, so we would assume that that's what has allowed.
Word from Michael Massey up from race controls. The 54 is being manually timed. That's the Seaton car, so that's why we're seeing that move around. So that's getting updated lap on lap on lap. So that's difficult for the timekeepers to do that in this day and age of automatic timing. But it's lucky we got some experienced campaigners down there hitting the button every time that car goes through.
Stop watching the iPhone?
Yep, that's it. Not an iPhone, on a Tag Heuer.
Ah, yes, of course.
Chronograph.
Getting it.
Or a laptop that you program all the car numbers into the keys.
Oh, Gaz, come on, where's the romance in that?
There isn't.
Exactly. This is car racing. You want to get romance, you get out the wrong spot.
I don't think Gaz does romance, does he?
Oh, yeah.
Happily married man, have
I
been
didn't
for
say you're not.
32 years.
Just wondering whether you do romance.
Yeah.
I did once.
Long time ago.
Enjoyed it that much, thought can't have that much fun ever again.
There's the Carademus and Russell Falcon on screen, the 34.
There's one Falcon passing another. And as we reported, the Russell Carademus car has had to do a second stop. We don't know why, but hopefully we'll find out. And that's allowed Frank Donu and Francois Joy to take over lead. Hadrian Morrell in for Colin Osborne in the second car, and they're actually first and second in class. And interested to see how far apart they are after their respective stops. We'll keep an eye on that one for you, so that you have an idea of where things are. And where that puts, I think Doug Westwood is now in third position after Daniel Sugden started in that car, and fourth would be the second Osborne car as one of the Falcons there decided that to try a bit of grass cutting.
Yeah, that was a big off there at high speed. Managed to continue on with it.
Luke's still starting to get his eye in now, boys. He's running his PBs through sector 1, 2 and 3 on the last lap, and again. So Rawlsey's down in pit lane with the man who came out of the leading car, Paul Morris. Rawlsey.
Well, there's a vicious rumour going around. You're on the same set of tyres you started with. Is this true?
Yeah, mate, we're in an economy run. low budget team. We only can afford one set.
And is that set going to do you to the end?
Oh yeah, definitely. So we the only shot we had at really winning it. It didn't really have the pace, so we had to make up time in the pits. So if it stays green, we've got a good chance.
That's one hell of a strategy.
Oh, it's the same one we've been using for the last 3 races. So someone else should. I thought I might have got onto it by now.
You're at the pointy end of the field. You're definitely in a good spot to challenge for this race.
I think so. Sharon's are quicker than us. They might run us down, so it's up to Luke to get up on the wheel and make a wide car.
And what information have you been feeding Luke?
We seem to be lacking a bit of boost, so we're changing at different points and just trying to rev the shit out of the thing, basically, and get it home.
Well, go easy on that rubber and good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Not a bad strategy. Low rubber and rev the bejesus out of it.
Yeah, he loves everyone into a false sense of security, doesn't he? The line is ticking over at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and he just chats in that Aussie laconic Queenslander fashion. And you never know what's going on behind those eyes twinkling away, would you?
Yeah, what can I drop in here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how can I throw everyone? Not only at the track and the live streaming, but all the competitors.
I just wonder what that particular rev is that they get to.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey boys, we can't tell you that Ian Sheeran has now got that gap down to 3.5 seconds between himself and Luke Searle. So one would think that if this continues, then if Luke Searle can't make the back of that BMW pretty wide, Ian Sheeran probably hits the lead within the next 2 or 3 laps.
There they are.
Yeah, they're closing. There's no traffic between them at the moment. And yeah, it's only a couple of 100 metres.
Number 2 tenths of that lap alone. So the gap is coming down, and we just wait to see where Tim Lay. Tim Lay goes across the start-finish line now. He's a further 11.5 seconds back, so not out of the picture either, with fresh rubber down the left-hand side of that car.
Liam Thompson running wide there in the car first on the road in Class E. Had some faster cars coming through, getting used to that this weekend in the Class E car. There's only about 5 other cars that aren't faster than you on the track that you've got to try and keep behind. The rest of them you've got to try and be as polite as you possibly can be and let them through. And they've all done a great job. In fact, we haven't heard really a lot of complaints from the faster cars saying, oh, the slow traffic's in the way, it's in the way. They're dealing with it. It is what it is. They enter the race knowing that there's going to be parity differences across classes.
That's the beauty of production car racing with multiple classes. You have to deal with traffic whether you like it or not.
And it's the same for everybody.
Exactly.
So Luke Searle now comes through turn 6 and crosses the line now. Ian Sheeran crosses the line now. That equates to 3 seconds between nows.
He's lost about 1/10 of a second on that last lap. So it's not going to be enough tenths of seconds to hold off.
Hold out not for 21, no.
Yeah.
And the gap remains stagnant back to...
and that car's really starting to move around on the rear end on Luke Searle now. You saw it through turn 2 there. Certainly not tracking as smartly as what the number 1 car is.
So while they may lose the lead, and let's say that's a possibility to happen, as we see one of the...
It's an easy car in problems, pulling off to the side now. Will this trigger a safety car?
Down at that part of the track, I expect not. They've got a flag point coverage before the car there. It's sort of tucked in behind it, albeit 20, 30 metres past the point. There's yellow flags being waved. The problem is that it negates a braking passing manoeuvre into turn 6, if it comes to that on the last lap.
The Class I Falcon look like it's out of the race.
Boys in the box putting out the board. Safety car, folks. Well, we are safety car.
This will certainly help
see
Sharon.
Schenken downstairs. Competition safety car.
Well, yeah, maybe. But regardless, there is a safety car. Now, this is a real bugger for Luke Searle, because as I was going to say, let's say that they did lose the lead, they probably were going to Sharon. They still had a 15-second gap to Tim Lay. Now, they could have taken second. Now that they're all closed up, that's going to be real tough for him.
The worst part about that is there's no traffic between them. So they're going to be line astern behind the safety car and on the restart.
Our class leader E in Class E has pitted very late in the race. And,
and under safety car too, Gaz, so this could be the masterstroke.
Yeah, it'll certainly push them, keep them in touch with the 2 Swifts that they've been dicing with all day.
Lauren Gray at the front of the car. many production races in of course, the first father and daughter team to compete at Bathurst in the production car race.
You might be the second in 25 years.
Could be. I hope for my daughter not.
Yeah, because
The grumpy, angry, slow old man. A little bit chubby.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for the endorsement, Gaz. And out they go, number 15.
No tyres for that one.
No tyres.
so
Bit
there.
of fuel went in.
Well, with 20 laps to go, you probably don't need tyres, do you?
You're going to need something, otherwise you're going to be running on the rims.
Oh, well, yes.
Not new tyres.
No.
You expect, I mean, these cars weigh under a tonne, so
Yeah.
they're not rolling around a lot. The wheels are at the
Now
corners of the car. So
the nailer car's back in the pit lane. So any pressure that the Echo had will be gone from one of the Suzukis. And remember, when the other Suzuki came out, it had a spin.
And Jarvis, yeah, they've gone backwards. So there's Naylor in the lane, Jarvis behind, and Alexandra Best now at the wheel. She'll have 20 laps to stamp her authority on what could potentially be a Class C victory here this afternoon.
This is the drama for the 10 car. They've got this passenger side door open, and other than that, so something's gone amiss with the Mitch and Lee Naylor car.
Maybe getting the sunglasses out of the glove box, or
Well, it's probably the best time the pit would be while there's a safety car. Get them back out before the safety car comes around. They can tag onto the back of the... and the car right at the back is the Toyota Echo, so...
And this is not ideal, really, is it, for Luke Searle? He's got a
Shocking.
car that's got a set of rubber that's done now 60 laps. And the dude's already said, yeah, look, we're going to have to skate around a little bit. And the guys behind him are so confident they're weaving to keep tyre temp up. And by doing that, you're tearing rubber off.
They've just beaten the safety car out, so they won't get back onto the tail in a lap, because I suggest that this race will go green on this lap. But
Well, that was a late release, wasn't it?
you'd be sweating there, wouldn't you?
Yep. Well, there is a Renault between them, so that run to the flag will have that little bit of traffic between them.
Well, a
But
Renault...
are they going to be on the same lap? Alexandra Best,
Yeah.
lap 55?
I think so. Wait for our timing to tick over and it'll tell us.
Jarvis 54.
So he'll be
come
55
round
when he
on
crosses the
Yep.
line,
Yeah, the Bates car in the pits with the product Evo, and they've got the bonnet back up on that one again.
Is that a driver change?
And a driver change.
And a tyre change. You're hearing on the back.
Still with the fastest lap of the race, that car, the 33, 1:19.82 for the Evo.
They're mucking around near the brake master cylinder there on that car.
And what they'll do is get out before the safety car, so that'll put them right at the back. They can't pass anyone until the control line, start-finish line, but it'll have fresh rubber on it, fresh driver, and hopefully mechanically A1.
Just in time finish for this race, now 21 minutes past 5 o'clock.
That's your
You've changed.
estimation.
Well, yeah, due to the safety car.
Yeah. Pushes it back out. So, we are on 19 laps remaining.
Safety car lights are out.
At the wheel of the M135. He's shared with Paul Morris. And he's got car 2 in the race right up behind him. And Tim Lay, car 3 in the race right up behind them. So this is now a race in 3, and it's the first 3 cars. In fact, Aaron, Stephen Ways, these first 4 cars are for the podium.
Yep, all on the same lap.
All on the same lap.
And away we go. And the Sherrin car on the inside and should take, no he doesn't. Luke Searle cut that off quite quickly. He's got 19 laps.
So that turned from a 250k endurance race to an 18-lap sprint race, isn't
Just
it?
like yesterday.
Like that. Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
like that.
yesterday too.
Yep, like that.
300k enduro down to the last 20 laps.
And Sherrin attempts to pull out of the draft to get a run down to turn 3. I don't think he's quite close enough at this stage unless he goes for the big break. And Tim Lay goes for one for the big breaks for those 4 spotters. pulls in a bit of space on that six-spotted vehicle in front of him. Bad run out of that corner for...
Yeah, Luke still hasn't got the tyre under him that he needs to go with these guys now. What a shame. Another safety car. That's at turn 3. He's buried it.
There'll be another safety car
Absolutely. Now. And that will be a huge haul to get the number 34.
Who's that? That's Russell, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Jeff Russell at the wheel. That's a real shame for those guys. Safety car hasn't been deployed, but the boards are getting ready
now.
Change of second, change of third. So we've got still all BMWs, but our former race leader has gone from first to fourth in a lap.
No safety car. The boards are being arrested.
Now we have the interesting prospect of the two 1Ms chasing down the 135i, all on about the same rubber.
Not with the same amount of pistons in their brake calipers.
Look how far Luke Searle just has dropped off the two cars here. There's a visible gap there now of about a second.
So the dust is clearing down at turn 3. They must intend on covering that off with yellow. So that's a passing point for these guys trying to charge up to the 135i of Ian and Grant Sherritt. Against that corner at the moment until any of the yellows are removed. And well, we're getting a really good view at the back of the 4 BMWs, guys. You guys were all over it. BMWs 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, safety car.
Nowhere.
We have a safety car. So this is going to be on again. And it helps, well, they're a lap down, but it would have helped the Pearson Bates car get back into the picture a little bit. Monaro had a late stop as well.
Oops, heads out onto the track now. Pit exit officials waving it through. So they were trying to pick up the race leader, and they'll have to wave the Monaro through. The race leader coming down the straight now. We've got green lights on the top of the safety car.
Yeah, they do that and they wave it through.
Oh, yeah, of course. You come through, it goes back to yellow.
Done. He's picked him up. So we're back under safety car conditions. 16 laps remaining. Bit of extradition work to do down at turn 3.
I wouldn't want to be doing the snatching of a Falcon down there. That's hard work.
Big bucket, big spade.
Yeah, exactly. And it's up to the axles too. So,
bit of smoke there, was it?
Yeah, the diesel, I think.
got an issue with the recovery vehicle.
Of the extraction bucket.
Yeah, the bucket will dispatch to get that job done. There it comes, flashing lights arrive down at turn 3. Looks like they've dispatched a standard type 4-wheel drive. Gaz, if you could just give us a bit of analysis of how the classes are all running.
Oh yeah, for sure. Frank Donahue is leading in Class C ahead of Adrian Morel. They're both the Renault Meganes now without the presence of that Falcon to jump in on them. They're in 7th and 8th position respectively. Class B, of course, is being led by Sharon, and second is Ayres and Sharon, and third is Hodges and Murphy. So interesting that those cars are still all in the top 10. Makes for good dicing. And again, we've got Westwood and Sugden leading Class C. They're 11th on the road, just behind the Alford McMahon Mitsubishi, was leading in Class I. And in Class D, it's Black and Black leading from Phillips and Turpey. And in...
All right, we might take a short break while these cars are still under safety car conditions, and we'll be back for the finish of this race. It'll be about 14 laps to go. It'll be a big sprint to the end here in the Australian Production Car Series, our final race of the weekend.
From an early age, I knew some cars were a statement of style and elegance.
I've been a motoring enthusiast all my life.
My life is hot rods, designing them, building them, and racing.
My Coupe 4 is rare and very special.
Beautiful, handcrafted, proper works of art.
This is my most prized possession.
Insurance? Shannon's, of course.
Kids learning to commentate and sound out, this is how you do it.
We know you have the need for speed. Let Motorsports TV app feed your addiction and fuel your passion. Monster crashes, live coverage, TV episodes and news. Don't get left behind. Strap yourself in for one hell of a ride.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Don't miss a second of the action. Every corner, every shift, every heartbreak. See your motorsport as it should be, live and free. Download your Motorsport TV experience now.
I spent a lot of time out here. The RT Charger's the real deal. An E49. Remember A-Charger? I've always got projects on the go, so Shannon's laid-up cover helps protect my restorations. I'm Mopar through and through. It's a passion Shannon's understands. I wouldn't insure my cars and bikes with anyone else.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Down in turn 3, and I'd love to let you know what was happening, but I can't see a damn thing due to this sun.
They're feverishly digging out the snow from behind, the gravel behind the wheels there.
That is in deep.
That's not Victoria this weekend.
That's right, yeah.
That is in deep.
That is in deep, and we've got one official there.
Give him a shovel at least.
Yeah. Give him some assistance.
Here comes the bucket.
Bring in the artillery.
What?
Can't hear you, buddy.
I see you to turn up, son.
Oh, mate, this is going to be expensive on a Sunday afternoon. I was watching the footy.
Yes.
I wasn't. I was watching the live stream.
I was watching the live stream. You interrupted my fun.
So, 15 laps remain as the cars make their way through 4 and 5. Another lap will be concluded under safety car. And I suggest we're probably going to have at least 1 or 2 more after this.
Exactly. It's going to be some time. In fact, it was the fight in the night about 3 years ago. We had a Falcon buried down there where we needed the exact same track that had come down and extricated.
That was
we had about 8 laps under safety car.
The Mick Benton, Jeff Russell car.
It was.
Just seeing where our Class E combatants are, and at the moment it is the Toyota Echo in front, but you don't have to look too far back to find out where the Suzuki Swift is, which is just 1 car further back.
Yeah, both on 59 laps too.
So that's going to be a great fight to the end. The gap between Frank Donohue and Hadrian Morel in the 2 leading Renaults, we're just trying to pick up this, the 80, it's the Class T car, seeing where they are. There's the 88 car, and there's right behind it.
Yeah, right next to it.
Right behind it, and then there's the Westwood Sutton car in third, not far adrift to those two either. So we've got some interesting battles. It'll be too much for us to cover. We'll just let it pan out and just
tell everyone at the end what happened.
if we can
make something of it.
Yeah.
Well, Pearson's brought his car back in, the 33. It's been in a little bit now, hasn't it?
Yeah, and all of a sudden,
Luke Searle's down the back.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there.
No, well, I think it's because of that manual timing of Aaron Seaton. Maybe they haven't added in his.
No, it's down the back of the train.
Physically
They
on
must
the
have come in
track.
during the break.
Oh, okay.
It's had 2 stops. There's
He
another
has 2,
stop
you're
there,
right,
so
yeah.
they've gone and put tyres on that, I'll bet.
Just to give him a bit of a run.
Yeah. And Pearson goes back out again.
Oh, there it goes. A backwards Falcon. Through the volcanic ash, or whatever that might be down there.
Well, it's probably got lit up a bit if those brakes had been a bit warm when it came to rest. But, yeah, so now this could actually play with 14, probably 12 laps to go by the time this is all cleared up, maybe even 13 laps to go. I think Tim Lay might be on a bit of a charge, but just how far back and can he catch him will be another thing. He's certainly still in the top 4 of this race. And Falcon probably trying to fire it up, I would imagine.
The recovery cars have gone, and he's just there.
Yep.
No, there he goes.
Down reverse.
And stay in reverse.
Good look at the side of Ford Australia's final offering to the market.
The FGX Ford Falcon Sprint, Ford Falcon XR6 Turbo Sprint, I should say.
Yep.
There is a mark or two down the side of it. He said copped a bit of punishment from the attacking Renaults.
And the guys that have done the final touches on this particular car have said this particular model of Falcon is going to be an aftermarket tuner's dream. There's so much power left to explore for those guys in the aftermarket situation. So
now, since he's
look
taken
for that to be the hot rod race.
Since he's taken the shortcut, I'm assuming that they're going to get that car. Has to be a break round.
I think so.
Yeah, they're really, really hot.
No, I think maybe
pedal to the floor.
Possibly, yeah.
See the Russell bring that Falcon across through the turn 6.
There should be a good battle between these top 3 BMWs, and we see a charging BMW from the back coming through as well. I noticed that the second Evo, the one that was garaged earlier, is back out there. And Mark Griffin car going back to Royal, but they're quite a few laps behind as we speak. But looks like we should go back to green flag conditions.
I would think
at the
after
end of
this race, yep.
Yep. We'll just keep an eye on the safety car. It's heading down the back straight now.
So 13 laps remain. There'll be 12 laps left once they cross the start-finish line at the end of this safety car lap. Expect the safety car to come in. 12 laps to go. That'll be 16 minutes of racing. The finishing time has gone out to 23 past. We'll still finish within our regulated time though.
They've had it gone past, I believe, 5:30 at the come. They hadn't gone 80 laps. There would have been a 5:29 cut-off plus 1 lap.
Correct. Safety car now coming down to 4 and 5. So expect to
Lights
see,
are
there
out.
they are. I was going to say, expect to see them go out any second. And they have. So it'll pull away. And then they will pull away to race the last 12 laps of what has been a 250 kilometre endurance race for these production cars.
Certainly come alive in the last, or the latter part of this race.
I was alive right through it. There's been some great racing.
Lots of great class battles, but
Yeah.
now it's on for young and old as the safety car pulls in. Now we can't go flat strap until they see the green flag. It hasn't come out yet. And now it does, so they're underway again. And this should be interesting as we see Sharon Lay and Seaton down into turn 1. Not much between them. Seaton just drops a little bit back between 1 and 2 as they head up the back straight again. The car's coming back out, the Class I car. They've had to drum with that. They've seemed to fix it, so they're going to come out and try and finish the race. But no sign of the Sinisi car, car 34. I think they've called it quits on that one. Jeff Russell getting out of the car, not taking the third car. But in the meantime, Sharon's actually pulled a bit of a gap as the two 1Ms battle it out for second spot.
Yeah, and Seaton has pulled out just a couple of times to have a little bit of a look up the inside to see what he can do. At the moment, though, Tim Lay holding that position in second spot. BMW of Ian Sharon, though, just pulling away now, a margin coming up to nearly a second.
So the sun has set now. It will no longer be in the eyes of the drivers. In fact, during that last safety car period was probably ideal, as the sun would have been really badly in their eyes between turns 1 and 2. And the headlights start to get switched on around the track. And our race leader charging with it
The gap 0.7.
Luke Searle ducking out from behind some of the Class C cars, and he is in absolute hot pursuit as well.
Just goes past the start-finish line, so he's got a fair bit to chase down. He's 13.8 seconds behind our race leader.
You know what? It'll feel like he's got a brand new car under him right now.
Yeah, he will with new tyres.
He'll be all enthused to get this chase done.
But he'll have to be lapping a second faster at least than the front runners if he wants to
Well,
make a.
probably could be.
Let's see.
He's got traffic to negotiate there. That's the other difficult part for him. Nothing between the two Class C cars. They're lapping at a similar pace. And I dare say that in Class C, when we get an update, it'll be a similar situation.
There's our race leader, a Class B car, the 135i, with Class A car, Tim Lay at the wheel. Beric Linton did the majority of this race. Tim Lay will be fresh. He's only probably, what was it, 25, 24 laps or something he's got to do, so he'll be nice and fresh. It'll be a Sunday afternoon drive for him.
The Seaton car looks like it's moving around a lot more than what the car ahead of it is too. It seems to be sliding more through the corners. That's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, because their lap times are just about identical that time to the 1,000th of a second.
The 21 car of Daniel Gaunt we're looking at there is in 18th position, so it's not actually weighing in on this outright result like the two cars in front, the two BMWs. The three BMWs are all in podium positions at the moment, but Daniel Gaunt is currently on lap 58. They had those issues with the number 21 car. So he's matching them for times at this point in time, but lost way too many laps in the pits.
Mitch Naylor's got the lead back in Class C as well over Alexander Best. But there's not much in those two. And I suspect the Jarvises aren't too far away from them as well. But as we said, it's now out to 1.23 seconds. So the Sherrin car has the speed at the moment, has the rubber under it. And Tim Lay, if he stays where he is, they will win the round on points.
Class E cars, Jarvis is leading down into turn 3, but he's a lap down. So he's got to come around. He's on lap 63, whereas the other guys are on lap 64. So that's the issue there. They're with each other on the track, but he's a lap down.
While we thought that Luke Searle might make a indentation into that 14-second gap between him and the leading car, that's now gone down to 15.28. So a little bit of traffic, one would think, holding up Luke Searle as he makes his way through. And as he is out now of that predominant traffic, it is starting to come down by 0.2, 0.3, so it's 15.4 now. But I think the horse might have bolted.
There's only one Sherrin BMW between him and there's actually another Evo between him and the back of the Seaton car. So that's in the entire length of the back straight.
He's about to take that Sherrin BMW now, one might think.
You'd probably expect that the 19 Sherrin might make things just a little bit difficult along the way too, but no.
Doesn't get the chance to.
Goes to the inside. Luke just has to balk mid-corner, but the drag race up to Snake Gully is now on in earnest. And it's certainly not making it easy for him.
Well, the team car's leading the race.
Yeah, exactly. There should be blue flags somewhere for
he's got it
that car coming through. He's got through. And immediately drives away. So he was held up marginally. In fact, he's lost 2 seconds in that chase.
Yeah.
So, not an ideal final 20 laps for Luke Searle, is it? Either way, he was going to be under pressure.
Be having fun though.
Yeah, of course.
In these last 12 laps, he'll be having a lot of fun.
The dude and I had a great strategy, and then the safety car came out.
Yeah.
Did I mention I went racing with the guy who won Bathurst a couple of years ago?
You know what, though? It ain't going to matter because he would have finished fourth anyway, and he's going to finish fourth regardless.
Yep.
At least what they've done by putting on those new tyres is ensure that he stays on the track to finish fourth.
Well, the tyres are now rotated for the next round.
Yeah.
They rolled the dice on that one. It could have worked if there hadn't been a safety car. I don't think they would have won it, but they would have been a lot closer to the leaders, maybe second or third.
Well, he's on the same straight as them now, so he's just got to cover that whole length of that straight off in 8 laps that remain here.
Did see that damage again on the front of the Renault, which was spoken about earlier on by
That's the
George.
class battle in Class C. That's the difference between the two cars. After what has effectively been 72 laps that the race leaders have covered anyway.
The ripping battle, isn't it? I mean, Class B, Ian and Grant Sharon have been the standout in that for a number of seasons now. Class A, a ripping battle, they're line astern with each other. Class C, line astern with each other. Class D, Dougie Westwood's got that one pretty much commanding that. Class E,
fantastic.
They're sharing the same corner with each other. So the way these class structures work, they really do have them pegged to the right opposition, don't they?
Certainly do, and just watching this move down. 7 laps to go for our race leader, or less than second, 7 seconds. Get it right in a minute. 7 laps to go as we're watching.
Ian Sharon leading the way here, and we've got 7 laps left to go.
Apologies, folks. It's been a long 2 days.
Sprinkling of rain in the commentary booth. And Ian Sharon doing a very tidy job again in Class B. In fact, he's driving away from these other guys at the moment. It's at 2.39 second gap to Luke Serlit's now out to 18.8 seconds. So the wringing of the neck of the M135 is continuing, but it's not being run tight enough just now, is it?
No.
Showing in, the number. We can see on the road now, this is the Class A battle. Tim Lay, Aaron Seaton in Class A, and second and third on the road. Wow, it's Tim Lay now, starting to slide the back of the Merrick Linton car down through turn 2. And that could get a little bit hairy if he continues to do that, that's for sure. Starting to see glowing brakes again now out on the track. Now, the sun has gone.
I get the feeling that Aaron Seaton's not going to finish this race wondering what might have been.
No.
Giving it everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Remind you of anyone else called Seaton?
Yes, definitely.
Be here too, offering advice.
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, does it?
No, it doesn't. No. Thank goodness, because
exactly.
if we can watch another career like Glenn's, then fantastic.
But how lucky are we that we've got these guys, Jack Perkins, Darren Seaton, all the young guys coming through, the Sons of Guns.
Stephen Richards. Yeah, plenty of them.
Steve Johnson.
And wait for the next generation of Richards coming through karting too at the moment. Wait for that to burst onto circuit racing.
We've got the Dooans in motorcycling.
Yeah, and karting
the
as well. Karting with the Dooans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 laps to go. The gap 2.9 seconds.
Well, if it's if your dad's a plumber, quite often you'll end up a plumber. If your dad's a race driver, they're no different.
Plumber.
Yeah, plumber. They could probably go plumbing, make more money. But like sons follow fathers into their profession, because that's what's done in the house as they're growing up.
So there could be another Shebeki commentating in 20 years' time in the Shannons Nationals.
It could be. We know they're demons on watermelon.
Yes, we do.
I think that's on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is something.
Shebeki and watermelon. Type that one in.
Ian Sharon, there's the battle for third, though. Is it? No, no.
The Evo is several laps down. It's had 3 pit stops. Garaged on one of those. So they've had to do something.
Keep it up with Aaron Seaton, though.
Whatever the problem was, they fixed it.
Yes.
But the battle for third looks like it's being resolved, or battle for second and third being resolved with Tim Lay moving away from Aaron Seaton, and of course that will kind of guarantee them the round win, or the Class A win as well. Ian Sharon and Grant Sharon will take Class B and an overall victory, which I'll be very pleased about, because the classes, the awards go to the classes rather than the outright situation. So that means that in Class C, Frank Donner and Francois Joy currently lead that one, although it's a tight contest still to see who'll win that over Hadrian Morel and Colin Osborne. The second of those cars, with Patrick Galing at the wheel, has actually jumped ahead of the Doug Westwood BMW. Kyle Alford leading in Class I, Carly Black leading in Class D.
What it does mean, though, is that we have a real closing in of the outright championship points. Leading currently Luke Searle and Paul Morris, both on 225 because they share the car, they get the same points. Beric Linton on 161. Now that car's going to get 40 points more than the 62. That'll drop down to 60 when they adjust those times for second to go to third. So that's going to get 45 points more. There's a 64-point gap, so that's going to come down to like 21 points of difference between Searle, Morris and Linton, which will be a nice battle.
Nice battle, and they go back to Sydney Motorsport Park for the final round where they had a win each.
Yeah.
So it will be very tight.
3 laps left in this competition, and indeed in round 5 of the 2016 Shannon's Australian Motor Racing Nationals. And this is the second race. Last night's 300k race. This is the 250k race for the Australian Production Car Series, currently being led, and I won't say dominated, but led confidently by the Class B car of Ian and Grant Sharon. They continue their amazing run of results in this car.
Well, you know, to be fair, I think they had a handle on last night's race until the pit stop malfunction.
Nothing wrong with the car nor the drivers, really. Yep. It was a garage that let them down.
Yeah, something you can't really avoid, unfortunately. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Tim Way not really being able to answer the question here, but Beric Linton, he pointed out the reasons why during an interview with Andrew Rawls mid-race. There it is, car number 1 leading the way. Come across the line this time round. It'll be 2 laps to go. Then Sharon at the wheel. I wonder if Andrew Rawls is allowed to approach Grant Sharon for an interview now.
I say not.
No, best not.
Wait until the end of the race.
We talked to Grant Sharon. He comes back with the typical motor racing driver's response. Yes, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Footballers, race drivers, yeah, no. I'm not giving you anything.
So there it is. Good-looking car, that BMW.
It is, isn't it?
Yep, it
aggressive bulldog type stance to this car.
Been a good-looking car and a good performing car the entire weekend here at Queensland Raceway. And he comes around 4 and 5, so effectively a lap and a half left.
Brakes are starting to glow now as well. We can see with the fading light.
Yep, check that out, kids. Look inside the front wheels.
Won't see it there. You'll see it under the brakes at turn 6. Certainly into turn 4 it does it.
This car, just watching it going over the bumps here at Queensland Raceway, they really have got the bump and rebound set really, really well on that car. It rides the bumps, it doesn't disturb it. It just sort of, it looks almost like it just wallows over it. That's what you want. You don't want it to be jumping around and getting unweighting the wheels and things like that.
Still pulling impressive times, mid-20s.
Yeah.
For our 2 front runners, Seaton did a 20.0 on that lap, so he was actually the fastest.
Final lap, guys. 250 kilometres.
Prediction of 23 past is looking good.
And looking good for the BMW win there too.
Yeah.
Schmex.
Looking very good for BMW 1, 2, 3, 4. Dominated the race today, have these cars. So we've got a Class B car.
Gee, that Evo doesn't sound good going down the straight, does it? Lucky it's a final lap.
Yeah.
They're a long way off the pace, those guys.
But there's a diesel truck going down there.
Yeah, they're in it for whatever points they can drag out, I would suggest, at this point in time in Class A.
Ian Sharon out. Through 4, through 5. 1 turn to go, Gaz, and he'll be home.
Yep, and they've done it in style, haven't they? What a little problem they had yesterday, they've overcome that one. They're back in front, and it's Ian Sharon who's going to bring this one home for Sharon Rentals and take out the round for Class B and win this 250-kilometre race. Taking the checkered flag ahead of Tim Lay and Beric Linton in the second car across the line. with Aaron Seaton and Tony Alford third. BMW's struck here at Queensland Raceway this weekend, taking the top 4 positions. And I think we'll find that Bob Pearson, despite the extra 2 stops, will come home 5th and teamed up, of course, with Rick Bates.
All the teams on the wall too, congratulating their crews as they get to the line.
Class D winner coming down to take the checkered flag, gives the flick of the lights. I repeat those for them in Class D, that's Carly Black and Barry Black.
So who's bringing Class E home?
Class E,
Naylor.
Mitch Naylor at the moment. Oh, and more trouble. Looks like the 21 car has expired as it went past the line. A bit like what the Pettis Toyota did last night.
It did too, exactly.
There's the Class E winner coming to the line. It'll be a Suzuki. And it will be the Naylor Suzuki to the line. Don't be confused, Jarvis, a lap down, and here comes second place, which will have Alexandra Best at the wheel of the
Not much between those two.
No, that was hotly contested.
Class C combatants close together too, 3rd and 4th in that class, and not much between them on the same lap. And that's the Galen Bentley car ahead of the Westwood Sutton car. Our race leader comes around on the slow down lap, acknowledges the efforts of the officials, letting them know when they're passing slower cars with those blue flags, comes into pit lane, 40 kilometre speed limit, and very...
All right, we'll say goodbye to everyone on our live stream. We thank you so much for joining us at thenationals.com.au. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage of today's final day of round 5 of the Shannon's Nationals live from Queensland Raceway. Make sure you tune in the weekend of the 9th to the 11th, so it'll be the 11th of September. Our live stream will be back up and running from Phillip Island for round 6 of the Shannon's Nationals, proudly presented by Penrite and Shannon's Insurance. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you again soon on a computer near you. To our people here at the track, we thank you also for sticking around. What has been a great day of racing again here at Queensland Raceway. 2 fun weekends of racing. Of course, we had the supercars and the categories there last week, and of course this week we wrap up 2 big weeks of racing with the Shannon's Nationals round 5. Thank you all. Thanks to all our marshals out there for the great job that you do every weekend at a race track. You've looked after our cars and you've looked after our drivers and teams exceptionally well once again. Thanks to our punters who have come along. Thanks to my co-commentators for the day, Darren Smith and the entire team here in the commentary box. We look forward to catching you again here for another Shannon's National round in 2000.